What's up, everybody? Devin here, FLG Lacrosse with the FLI Lax Journal. I'm here with 4 standouts from Cold Spring Harbor. Ladies, do me a favor, introduce yourselves to the Long Island lacrosse crowd.
I'm Sophia DeRosa.
I'm Catherine Faria. I play attack. I'm Emily Weld. I play midfield and attack.
I'm Caroline Atkinson. I play defense and sometimes midfield.
Cool. Awesome. Great intros. Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me as well as the rest of the Long Island community.
No problem. Anytime.
Of course. Love to do it.
So you guys had a big win tonight, Port Washington. Crushed that one. You guys are 11-2 on the year, 6-2 in conference. Sophia, let's kind of talk about current success thus far. And, yeah.
Well, I think this year it's a little different because everyone's really close. So we get along really well off the field. So on the field, it kind of just translates. I also think it, like you said before this, but we're really balanced on the field. So we have a lot of people that we could go to. So I know people have said this about us before, but if they kind of take off one person one day on offense, someone else will have a big game. And it's kind of every other game, there's someone new who's contributing a lot. And also we have a really strong defense too that has a lot of upperclassmen leaders along with a lot of underclassmen that are stepping up really strong.
Awesome. Is the senior class big? Is the upper class big, or is it mostly underclassmen oriented, your team?
Well, the senior class is only 4 of us, so we're pretty small, but the juniors make up half our team with the 12. Oh, wow. It's pretty big. There's no freshmen, so then the rest are sophomores. So we're pretty upperclassmen heavy, but a lot of it does come from the juniors too.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's huge. Being such a small senior class, having, players that you could also rely on, to get the job done if you're not necessarily having a great game, is definitely clutch. And you also mentioned that you guys hang out a lot and you have a lot of chemistry off the field. Kind of touch on that a little bit. What are some things that you guys do off the field that, lead to chemistry on the field?
Typical stuff like pasta parties before every game. Also, just kind of out in school, everyone's always friends too. All 4 of us hang out. Also, we're also a good thing about us too is that we're all very into lacrosse. So we know what we have to do on the field. So it's not we have to keep each other in check. So then when we joke around, it's kind of we're all on the same page all the time. So yeah, we get along really well in that way.
Definitely. Kind of like sisters. Where I played in college, a big thing we preached is being brothers on the field and being brothers off the field. And, we were always together, whether it was at the dining hall, studying, or just simply playing video games in the locker room. Having that team chemistry and that bond off the field, definitely contributes to on-field success. So that's pretty cool. Awesome. All right, Catherine, let's go into improvements. You guys got a few games. Obviously we're in the latter half of the season, but, obviously you guys want to close out with 2 big wins. So kind of let's touch on what needs to be improved and, what are some things that you guys are working on this week in practice so you guys can get a couple wins in the column.
Yeah, so in the beginning of the year, the huge stress was kind of our goalie situation. Obviously losing Abby Nye was a big loss, but we've seen that our defense is probably the strongest part of our game, and that's definitely been balancing out our defensive end, even though we did lose our goalie, but we've had 2 others step up big time, Erin McAteer and Alyssa Moran. I think another thing we need to work on is just being able to focus, even if we know that we're not playing against an as competitive team. Sometimes we tend to go into it a little bit flat or not as focused, so we just need to come out strong and energetic no matter who our competitor is, because usually in the first round of playoffs we do play a weaker team and we don't want any of them to just come out and bite us when we're not expecting it.
Definitely. You should never change your game on who your opponent is. Always play to your level. Yeah. And that's huge. It seems like that your team chemistry kind of builds into that and contributes to some on-field success. You mentioned the goalie for your team this year. Is she an underclassman?
Yeah. Our starting one right now is a sophomore. Our backup is a junior. So I mean, they both rotate a little bit. It's not definite, but
Gotcha.
the
Yeah.
one that's been starting is an underclassman. So
I'm sure whoever's in the cage for you guys definitely feels assurance, that she has a skilled defense in front of her. So, and I wrote a piece for the magazine a couple weeks ago, and it kind of talked about obviously the offense wins the games, but defense wins championships.
Yep.
And you guys have, I believe it was 3 consecutive state championships, right?
that was the boys.
Oh, it was the boys?
Yeah, but we're definitely looking to win our first one. That's
this year.
a goal. That's a goal
Gotcha.
of ours. So.
Gotcha. Have you guys ever won the county championship before?
Yes,
We have 5, I think. Something like that.
No.
2 times.
Maybe I'm thinking of the county championship because I think you guys won it in 2016.
We had 3 consecutives.
Right. Okay. So that's what I meant. So the 3 consecutive county championships. Obviously, a state championship is a state championship, but the county championship is huge. Not many teams can even say that they even played in a county final game or a county playoff game, let alone winning the county championship. So I'm sure having a defense you guys have this year is definitely going to contribute to some success, and hopefully you guys can make that push to the county final. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, Emily. Coach Castelline is back.
Yes.
She missed a lot of the season last year because she had other priorities. She had a baby.
2.
She has 2 She had 2 babies. She had twins.
Yep.
Wow, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, but she missed a lot last year. Let's kind of talk about the impact that she's had, and how it contributes to you guys' success thus far.
Yeah, so definitely this year she's been a major impact on our team. Last year we weren't as focused or we weren't as comfortable with our coach because we were put in a different situation where we had a new coach. No one really knew much about her. We knew she played in college. We knew she coached at St. Anthony's, but that was kind of all we knew about her. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of our same team with a new coach under a new coaching style. So it was kind of last year was a big adjustment period for us. Whereas this year we're back to what we know. We're back to working hard always. And we're all just know how Coach Skakani coaches, and we're all just used to that. And she pushes us to a different level. I think a lot of us didn't think we could be pushed to. And she definitely has high expectations for all of us, and she has different expectations for each different player. And I think just the fact that she knows us better and we know her better, it really has made this year a big difference.
Right. And, I think it all boils down to one simple word, and that's trust. You guys obviously trust her and her system, and she obviously trusts you guys to, go out there and play as hard as you can and be the best players that you can be and, get the job done out there. In terms of, I know it's late in the season, but, in terms of any off-season training or early season training that you guys do that, is paying off at this point?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we went to the hub once a week with anyone potentially trying to make the varsity team. And I think that's really where a lot of our team camaraderie started from, because we were all joking around a little, getting our reps in the winter. And that's I think that's really where our team chemistry came from. So working hard in the off season, and then sometimes we'd text all the girls in a huge group chat asking if anyone wanted to come to the turf with us after school. And a lot of people came. So I think just all the little things, it really helped to build our team up this year.
Right. That's huge. I mean, off-season training is obviously big. I mean, even at the college level, season starts in the fall. My coach always used to say, you start in January so you could play in May. And, now looking back on that, I really know what he meant in terms of the winter and, early spring is the time to work out all the kinks so you could build that stuff like team chemistry and work on, the system and gain that trust that obviously you guys already had that established, but gain even more trust with your coaches and your players and, get the underclassmen acclimated to the high school level. So, when it really comes down to winning the games and getting to a county final, you're in that much better of a situation. So it seems like you four as leaders are doing the right thing and, keeping the program, in the right path to get there. So I congratulate you on
Thank you.
Perfect. All right, let's kind of sidetrack a little bit. I want to get into your college commitments. So let's start with Caroline. You're going to
The University of Richmond.
perfect. Let's kind of talk about what influenced your decision, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to their lacrosse program. It's been amazing this year. They're finished first in their conference, which is awesome. I love the coaching staff. I love everyone on the team, and they're actually hosting the A10 champion tournament. So that's exciting, and it's exciting to go down there next year. And what influenced me to go was I always knew I wanted to go for lacrosse. I always knew I wanted to go to a small school. And my uncle, he played there at Richmond, and I think he's now in the Hall of Fame. So it was just good to have a legacy. It's always nice to be recognized down there. So already part of the family.
The Spiders.
Yeah.
Mascot.
Great mascot.
Yeah, I mean, small schools obviously caters to, academics first, but, a school like that has, such highly regarded athletics, and obviously they're really good, hosting, the tournament, that's huge. And that's, not many programs can say that they've done that. So I wish you the best of luck, and
Thank you.
great things there. Perfect. Let's move on to Emily. Where are you going?
I'm going to Davidson College next year.
I'm sorry, to where?
Davidson College.
Davidson. Okay, sorry. It was audio broke up a little bit there. Cool. Let's talk about kind of what influenced your decision to go there.
So for me, I was deciding between two schools that were polar opposites. And for me, what drew me to Davidson was, one, the weather, and two, the academics. Like, I always knew I wanted to go to a really good academic school, so that obviously was a huge push for me to go there. And I hate the cold, so I knew if I was playing lacrosse somewhere, I wanted to be warm all the time. And just at Davidson, when I went there on my unofficial visit, it just was the only place that really I just felt I had a connection with the school, the coaches, and all the players on the team. It just really felt like home to me there. So that's I don't know, that kind of pushed me.
Perfect. Yeah. Warm weather is definitely huge. And I really wish I looked into that when I played in college, because I played at Siena and it was cold. It was really cold up in Albany. So warm weather and lacrosse is obviously better vibes. So
And I play Caroline next year.
Oh, cool.
Rivals.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think.
Yeah. Not off the field though. Friends forever off the field. On the field, 60 minutes or longer. Enemies. Off, best of friends. Perfect. All right, Catherine, where are you headed off to next year?
Washington and Lee University.
Perfect. Really good academic school. I'm sure that was definitely a factor that influenced you to go there.
Yes, definitely. Also, as Emily said, the warm weather. I was looking at a bunch of NESCAC schools, and Washington Lee had the same academics and was also Division III, which was a huge part of my decision. I definitely wanted to be able to study abroad when I went to college. I think that was really important to me. And obviously, when you play Division I lacrosse, that's not an option. But when I visited the school, I just fell in love with the campus and the weather and the people there. Everyone was so welcoming, and there were just not one bad thing about it. So I'm excited. And one of my best guy friends, Teddy Bentley, on the lacrosse team, who's a senior, is going there too. So I already know someone going into it, which is kind of cool.
Absolutely, yeah. I earlier on in the season, I interviewed the CSH boys. Teddy's a great guy.
Yeah.
Nothing but great things to say about Washington and Lee. You said you had a dream of playing Division I lacrosse. I think, now that I'm coaching and I coach high school kids, one of the first things I tell them is to drop the D's and to think about not playing Division I college lacrosse, but playing high-level lacrosse. And Washington and Lee is definitely up there with high-level lacrosse. So I'm sure you'll have a great experience. Where are you thinking about studying abroad?
Probably Italy. I really want to go to Florence, but
Cool.
let's see. I could change my mind by then.
Awesome.
But I'm excited for a good balance of college and lacrosse and learning.
I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Best of luck. All right, Sophia, Where are you going next year?
Brown University.
Perfect. The Bears.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that, and also let's make sure we touch on the Ivy League, because obviously that's a pretty prestigious conference, and it's definitely something that that should be known for the record. So let's dive in.
Okay. First for there's like little voice. Okay, never mind. It's like sound in the background. First to touch on the Ivy League. This year, it was, like, huge for Brown because there were so many records that were broken. I think it was the first time they beat Cornell in 19 years.
Wow.
And something that I said to the coach this year when I went for my official visit is, like, I've always really liked it there. Like, I went to the camp when I was in 8th grade, and a lot of these girls that are on the team now I actually played with during the summer camp. So, like, I'm friends with them already. And just watching, like, over these 4 years how much the program's grown is insane. Just seeing, like, girls that I know come in and break all these records this year, that is just crazy to me, and it's so exciting because they're already so welcoming to our class, saying like, oh, we know we can do even more next year. And I just think that they're getting better and better every single year. This year I know they have a transfer from Boston College who did a lot, and they have like a bunch of really good upperclassmen too. And even they had this year a freshman who made second team All Ivy. So it's really nice too, the balance of there's not a big, like seniority kind of thing. It really is balance on the field.
It seems like the leaders of that squad and also the coach, I'm sure she has a huge influence on how her players think, but it seems like they all want the program moving in the right direction, and they want, Brown to move to the top of the Ivy League, which is obviously something that's really hard to do considering how competitive the conference is. But, recruiting players, as high caliber as you play, that's obviously – putting the program in the right direction, and them being so welcoming to, you and the rest of your class, something definitely to look forward to. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Perfect. All right, let's move back to Caroline. We have two big games coming up, North Shore and Sacred Heart. And then that will finish the regular season, if I'm correct.
Yes.
FLG will be at the North Shore game. We'll be on the sidelines taking video, making sure, we're posting that out to social media, letting everyone know that Cold Spring Harbor comes to play. Yep. But let's kind of talk about what we expect with those games, as well as some areas that we need to key in on so we can, get some wins in the score column moving into the playoffs.
I definitely think that we are wanting to come out with 2 wins when we finish out the season. That's been a goal of ours, to finish at least 2 in our conference and just set a record that we haven't set, I think, in Cold Spring Harbor ever. So we've been talking about that. That's been a goal for quite some time, and I think we definitely can do that. This has been like a really unique group of seniors. This team definitely can go all the way. We've had really, really good players in the past, but we've always fallen short. So I think once we win these 2 games, I think that'll definitely prepare us for the playoffs, and just that's what we got to do. Cool.
It's time to make history.
Yep.
It seems like the players that came before you ladies have laid the foundation, but now it's your time to take it home. And I wish you guys the best of luck. This is a special time to be a lacrosse player. In May. Obviously, the weather's cooperating. It's finally nice out. I'm sure you guys are working hard on the practice field, and finish out the season strong. And good luck with the playoffs. And I'm sure I'll see you guys, soon. Maybe at a playoff game. Oh no, I think the audio went, folks.
Oh, man.
I'm hearing some laughter, which is a good sign, but I'm staring at a blank screen right now. All right. Well, it was great. If you could hear me, it was great talking to you. I wish you guys the best of luck, and thank you so much for tuning in to the LLX channel. Are we back?
Thank you. Go Seahawks.
We're back. Awesome. Awesome interview I did. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much, ladies, and I wish you guys the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Signing out. FLG Labs. Lilac Journal. Cold Spring Lady.
Okay.
See you.